OBS for some reason.
Okay, and we're back.
Hey!
Well, I don't know.
Nancy!
Yeah, hold on.
That one's for you, Hairball.
Skinner.
Oh, we're not. I don't know if we're back on YouTube just yet.
I
think we're back on Twitch.
Yeah, let me check. Let me check on that. Open that up. Yeah, we are back. So,
all right, here we go.
In the actually, you know what? Maddie, you want to do the Go Chargers Go gag?
I don't know what the Go Chargers go. Oh yeah, fuck you, Spanos.
No. It'd be like this. And now, no Chargers, no.
Oh God.
You're the guy with the Arnold impressions. I figured I'd give this one to you.
Yeah.
No Chargers, no. No Chargers, no. I forgot about that bit. My God.
Yeah.
But okay, first off, fuck you, Spanos.
Fuck you, Spanos.
Fuck you, Spanos. I'll burn your eyes out with my stove, you idiot.
Second off, it seems that the special teams curse has returned again.
Yep.
Time.
And third, this was just a constant stream of pain for the Chargers.
After a great season last year, you regressed that hard. Wow. Well, look at it this way.
That's by Adam Klein.
Well, at least now you don't have to worry about playing at StubHub next season. Or do they have? There's a different name for it, too, but fuck it, I'm still calling it StubHub.
Yeah, at least StubHub Center or whatever.
At least
whatever the name is.
Soccer stadium.
It is literally visiting home teams central.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whose visits, it's a home team advantage for the other guy.
Yep.
When the Vikings played them a few weeks ago, there was a skull chant getting broken out.
I heard that one, yeah. That's legit.
Yeah, first Renegade and now that.
Yep.
Oh my God.
All of the yup.
You know what? This is what happened at StubHub. Play the drinking anthem, please.
All rise. Huh?
Mildred?
My soundboard's dead, remember?
Oh yeah, I don't have that.
And I don't have that.
Oh well.
Oh, that's
Can't
one box. Anyway, let's move on to the AFC North.
Now
let's laugh at the Steelers.
Oh no.
Well, Captain Fat
those were regulars of your Captain Fat Fuck, leader of Vanquished.
Yep, he's on his way out. Doesn't matter if you're coming back another season, but still.
I had absolutely no hope that the Steelers were going to make the playoffs because this was going to be their punishment year.
Yep.
Due to the fact that they had to let go of a lot of pieces to cut out the cancer. And unfortunately, it's unknown if they cut out all of it.
Yep.
Yeah, it still remains the head coach is a fucking idiot.
Tomlin's a moron.
Tomlin can't manage a game clock.
Moron's too generous. Call him a fucking idiot. That's what he is.
But there's a three-headed monster of incompetence there, and he's one part of it. The other part is Danny Smith, who is completely useless, and seems to not understand how to develop schemes. And the other is Fietner, who is nothing but an organizational puppet.
Yeah, the guy. Yeah, it's a boys' club right now. You could say, right?
Yeah,
Pretty much. Yeah.
It very much is a boys' club. Um, and Hairball's asking buy or sell between Tomlin and Garrett.
You know what? I'll take Tomlin over the fucking cymbal clacking monkey. We'll talk about that guy later.
Yeah, but when it now, as far as Duck Hodges, I think he did all right for a while, and it seemed like there was legitimate hope again. But then he ended up getting a massive concussion that was so bad they had to cut his helmet open in order to get him out of it.
Woof.
And after that, I could tell he was afraid of getting hit because he didn't want to suffer another one, since nobody wants to deal with PCS and have their career end early.
No, one does. No one does. This may very well be a case of he might need to get his confidence back. It might take the winter to do that. Rest up, heal up, do what you gotta do to be. When spring training hits, start throwing the football again and start feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think in the case of Duck.
Either way, and of course, the other question we had at the beginning of the season is, can Juju Smith-Schuster be the guy? The answer to that question seems to be leaning no. At least not yet.
Maybe.
Yeah.
At least it's right now. It's still a maybe for me. It's like, listen, he's got flash of brilliance, but the problem is he hasn't got a chance to finally prove himself for starters. He keeps blowing games though, but I would say 50-50. It's not really his fault.
It's a good chunk of it isn't his fault, but I do get the feeling that having all eyes on him after Brown and Bell left has not exactly helped him.
It's added more pressure than he was ready to stomach yet. The arrows. Yes, a lot of people are saying it's a no. It's a no. I think it's still too early. It's going to take another season for Juju Smith.
In my opinion,
answer that question confidently.
Listen, here's the deal with Juju. If you want your career to succeed, time to get out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Before he gets run out of town like everybody else.
Yeah, get out of Pittsburgh. Go to a team that actually needs a wide receiver, like, say, for instance, Bears.
That's not a bad. That would not be a landing spot.
That
would not be a bad landing spot. But yeah, this is a case of you're well respected. If your contract is running out, or if you have a trade clause in there, if they want to move you, don't say no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The sad thing is, I get the feel. Look, we know Pittsburgh doesn't fire coaches, but I get the feeling they are not that Tomlin is going to renew his contract for another year. And I know some Yinzers are thinking that they'll have a chance because Big Ben will come back next year.
Captain Fatfuck's coming back. He ain't gonna save your ass.
Have you seen what he looks like lately? He is in full don't give a fuck mode. He's going into Brett Favre simulation.
Yep.
Once he comes back, he'll play a couple of games, and then we'll know if it's truly Big Ben is back or it's Captain Fatfuck, leader of men.
Yeah,
I'm leaning on
my bet, and I'm pretty sure it's your bet as well, boys. I think we're getting more Captain Fatfuck than Big Ben.
Yep.
The problem overall is that the Steelers have relied on talent bailing them out.
They can't do that anymore.
Nope.
You can't do that anymore, and two, This isn't basketball. You can't just have a couple really good players and hope for the best.
Yeah, this season has been a backhand towards the Steelers.
And
that's reality backhand.
It may very well become definition of insanity if they rely on talent alone next year.
And speaking of talent, let's talk about the Browns.
This fucking team pissed me off this season.
Oh, they pissed everybody off because
they did. I will say this. I said I remember distinctly saying at the beginning when we did our preview, if they go above 5 wins, it's a good season for the Browns. For 6-10,
let's be honest.
The talent they had, they should have had more though.
I agree.
The games they were playing and everything else, 6-10, it's criminal.
You have all this fucking talent and you still can't have a winning season. I do not blame the talent here. Okay, I don't blame them.
No, the talent.
Chubb is a beast. Kareem Hunt's awesome. OBJ, you know how he can do, and I think Baker Mayfield, if taught right, he could be an amazing quarterback. Here's the problem: the coaching.
Freddie Kitchens was way over his head.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Kitchens was way over his head and was justifiably fired. I get the feeling because both GM and coach was fired. Here, this is my little conspiracy theory. I get the feeling that GM was doing his job. It said, told Kitchens, listen, bud, this was an uphill battle. We both knew it. We're going to move on from you. 2 hours later, management went, you fucking fired him? Fuck you. You're fired too.
Oh, so
I think someone above wanted to keep Kitchens, and the GM decided, you know what, this is for the betterment of the team, and the ownerships went, fuck you, you're fired too.
Yeah, Haslam started to become like Jerry Jones at this point. Why I think Dorsey made the right fucking decision, and you fired him because of that.
Mm-hmm. That's again, it is only a theory. But
why the hell would you fire Dorsey? He was the best thing that happened to the Browns since their comeback. Why the fuck did you get rid of Dorsey?
It feels like a panic move.
Yeah, this was a panic move. And it was a bad move. But we'll see how bad it is in hindsight next year, obviously. Yeah. But let's put ourselves in that position as ownership. What we would have done. Personally, Kitchens gone absolutely. I turn to the GM and I go, we got another losing season, then it's your ass.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I tell him. It's like, listen, Dorsey, you got rid of Kitchens, good. I agree with that, but you need us to solve our coaching situation quick, because if you don't do it next season, you're out of here.
Yeah, with the amount of talent that you amassed, fair enough on the coach. We get another. We don't go 8-8 or better. You're fucked.
Yeah, because this is a team. This is a team that should not be 6-10. In fact, I think they should have had a better record than the Steelers.
They should have had 8-8 minimum.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not going to go full on 10 and whatever, but bare minimum 8-8.
At the very least, the old rivalry has been rekindled in all the wrong ways.
True.
But it's been rekindled.
Very true.
Yep. But we'll see how it goes. Hopefully they get a good coach and not start chasing trends. They should have just stood pat with the one they had after Hugh Jackson got kicked to the curb.
Oh, definitely. And
Bounty Gate guy.
Yeah. And speaking of which, let's talk about the Bungles.
The winners of the Tank Bowl.
Tank Bowl.
The winners of the Tank Offs, and unfortunately, the ones that should have entered the Hall of Shame but didn't.
Yeah. Number 1, butt fumbled, and 2, well, Kitchens decided to try to fuck up his team further.
Yeah, but the thing is, when a team is tanking, they usually take one of 2 forms. The first form is a team that is legitimately tanking to try and get a top draft pick,
i.e. the Miami Dolphins. That was the intent.
Yeah. On the other hand, you have a team that is trying to be competitive and still can't do it just because of sheer suckage.
Hello, Bungles. How is you? Oh, I'm sorry. You're fucking up. Hi.
Yeah. By the way, here's your Tank Bowl trophy.
And now I know they're going to get the overall pick, and I know that there's been talk. Originally, there was talk about getting Tua, but when he got injured,
yeah,
lost
that
interest.
Busted hip kind of put stick in the wheels there.
I can't remember who the other guy was that everybody was gunning for the draft, but something was brought up that I think is very interesting. If the Bungles draft him, he doesn't technically have to go.
Yeah, it's true. Just remember what happened with Elway when he got drafted to the Colts.
Yeah. Now, granted, it's often a good idea to go with who drafts you because of the signing bonus you're going to get.
That's true.
But it doesn't mean you have to.
Yeah. Again, look at Elway. He probably looked where he's going, and at the time, Irsay had a nasty reputation of frying quarterbacks. So it's like,
And I hope the same thing. I hope the same thing happens with the Bungles when it comes to the draft this summer.
Yeah.
Especially since. Hang on.
All right. Yeah. Still the Bungles this year. They're gonna, like I said,
who'd have thunk it, huh?
Yeah, really. I thought it was gonna be the Dolphins, but when the Jets butt fumbled their teams, okay, screw it. We're just go back to mediocrity. But now, who's the number 1 draft pick this season? That's what I want to know. I know it ain't Tua because he got injured. So yeah, and besides, have you noticed since Tua got injured, Alabama went on completely fell off the map? Have you noticed that?
Ooh, okay.
So yeah. So now I wonder who, hold on, let me check it. Let me check the thing here. Number 1 draft pick. Let's see here. All right. Yeah, they're saying Joe Burrow from LSU, I believe, and that's pretty legitimate because look how far they've taken it since Alabama completely fell off the map. Yeah. Manny, you still there?
I'm here. I was looking at the same info you got, actually. You just got there first.
Yeah, so yeah, there's a possibility Joe Burrow is going to go number 1.
And I'm back. And for what it's worth, I have no intention to do a mock draft or even doing a live reaction to the draft.
No, I mean we're not that hardcore.
Yeah, this ain't a waste. Yeah.
Because I barely keep up with college football, mostly because I hate the ranking system.
Yeah, the ranking system's a mess.
And
Yeah, it's always,
and I live in Minnesota. What reason do I have to? The only time I'll care about college football is when it's Gophers and Badgers to see who's going to take home the axe.
At least the Gophers did pretty damn good this season.
Oh, they did real good. But I am in favor of the NCAA expanding the CFP into an 8 bracket instead of a 4.
Yeah. Yeah, how about this? Yeah, that's what I think they should do. If you bottom line is this, if you win a bowl game, you should be automatically in.
Or fuck, have the bowls be part of a round robin series or something like that. Do something to make the bowl games actually matter.
Put in the because they put in a 2-tier system. It's like they have the actual playoffs, and then they have the fucking bowl games. It's a separate thing. Why do that? Stupid.
Yep. Now I know that there was that whole talk about finally paying players, but when it comes, I have to wonder if the sole reason that came to pass was because of the fact that they wanted to have some way of dealing with the bagman problem.
Well, they should. Well, colleges. I find the aspect of colleges paying players absurd because number one, they get way too much money in endowments, and you know how I feel about fucking higher education these days. But we're not going to get into that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a topic for something else.
Are you familiar at all with bagmen?
No, I'm not.
No.
SB Nation did a documentary on this issue a while back, but bagmen, it's one of those open, dirty secrets when it comes to college recruiting, especially in poorer states like Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
And what certainly doesn't help matters is the fact that the NCAA as a governing body is inept, to say the absolute least.
I mean, sure, there are some colleges that basically live and die by their football program, Penn State, but still, there's nothing they can really do. It's if you really think about it, football is really not their fucking primary focus in most of these places.
No, it's one of those things where it depends on the area, and I see that Kira's asking if anybody's ever rejected the Madden cover spot. Not to my knowledge. And for what it's worth, even before Madden games were a thing, there was a precursor to the Madden curse. Hang on.
Anyway.
Yep.
Shall we handle the AFC South, gentlemen?
Yes, we shall.
Yeah, definitely.
And let's start with the team that we have no sympathy for, the Glue Factory.
Oh, yeah.
Colts, this is karma. You fucked up Andrew Luck, you wind up out of the playoffs.
Yep, the football gods have punished you accordingly.
The sad thing is, there are the the GM of the Colts, I actually feel sorry for because if it weren't for the Luck situation, I would have been praising how he took shit and turned it to Shinola.
Yeah, really.
Because
Well, like
2 years ago, the Colts were trash. Last year they were better. They actually made the playoffs, even though it wasn't for very long. But they were showing signs of improvement.
they went from tank bowl to a playoff berth.
Mm-hmm. But after the whole thing that happened with Andrew Luck, who was probably laughing at his former team now that he's enjoying his retirement.
Yep.
And I saw some people lambasting the fans who booed him as he walked off during his retirement speech. I'm gonna have to take a cold shower after this because there was something that happened that made me agree with Cowherd for once, and you guys know I despise Cowherd.
Oh.
And he said something that I thought was very on point regarding the whole booing thing. Fans pay money to be passionate. Pay money to be. They're expected to be loud, angry, off the wall, all that kind of stuff. They are. It is their job to be passionate. It is the job of analysts to not be.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't blame them. Now, Aikman, on the other hand, that was some bullshit. That was some bull and shit saying that kind of thing. It's one of those cases where even if I was to, first off, it's very romantic. It's very easy to look at that from the sidelines when it's very clear to everybody that after dealing with all the injuries and all the recurring injuries, that he just didn't have the desire to play anymore.
Yeah, like I said, no one can blame Andrew Luck at this point, but some of the fans really, like I said, yeah, you have to be passionate, but you should be booing the fucking organization.
You should, yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if at the rate things are going, if the NFLPA, who ended up in a different bit of drama that we've completely forgot about with the Jets. Which
yeah, I remember.
I don't know if that ever got resolved, but I get the feeling the Jets had to pay a few dozen thousand in fines.
Oh yeah,
because, well, that injury that guy had. That's the same injury that Uche had to deal with, and he didn't get it checked until it was too late. And because of that, Uche, who I enjoy his content, and I'd love to have him on the podcast one day.
Oh yeah.
He can't raise his arm all the way.
Ooh.
Like right where it's straight. That's as high as he can go it because of how his shoulder is fucked up.
Oh, yeah, that's one thing about the NFL, the whole Players Association. They need to worry about like other weird injuries and catching them early. I mean, the whole concussion thing. That's just the beginning.
Yeah, I know some people bring up seats. Some people bring up that they need to have better safeguards when it comes to CTE. That one's a little bit more understandable because CTE is very, very hard to diagnose while you're still alive.
Yeah.
But
that's the problem. It's football's a contact sport, and you know what? There are some things where at this point it's just a roll of the dice.
I've made it very clear from day one that I was always against Thursday night games. Because in doing that, you're having people travel and play and train 3 times a week. I honestly would much rather have. I would honestly much rather have the schedule lighten up a bit and maybe go back to maybe go back to 14 weeks instead of 16 slash
Yeah.
17. And I'm especially against the logistics of the London games.
Oh, yeah. The London games, the international games, they need to go into the trash. Unless you're playing in fucking Toronto, no.
Toronto, yeah. If you want to do international games, bring your games to Toronto. I'm willing to bet there's a bigger fan base for the NFL in Canada than there would be in London.
It would
Yeah,
be.
like
It would be. I wouldn't mind the idea of doing exhibition games with CFL players.
yeah.
I think
Hell,
the
we
only
have a
reason
perfectly usable football stadium here in Canada, here in Ottawa, for God's sakes. You want to do exhibition games or road games or whatever games in the NFL? Our stadium's just as good.
Mhm. But speaking of stadiums, let's talk about the Jaguars, who had probably the most cursed first week of any team.
Fucking ow.
First off, it's so hot that people are puking in the stands, and second off, you had a power out right in the middle of the game.
This organization is complete dog shit. But here's the good news. You got rid of Coughlin. That guy had to go.
Coughlin, from what I've seen of him, I think Coughlin's big problem is that he is stuck in the 80s.
Yeah.
He's
back in a second.
He's stuck with this mindset of needing to have total control, and some of the things that he was fining people for were or reprimanding people for were outright excessive. Like, he was getting on people's cases for not having the right socks during practice. That's a bit much. Or just that sort of need to control everything. And that's why it didn't surprise me when we found out that the majority of the grievances filed with the Players Association were aimed at Jacksonville.
So well, okay, bad news. Good news, bad news, Jaguars. Bad news, your team sucked this year. Good news, your wrestling company's doing better.
Yeah, but Tony's running that. It's not Sadiq.
Shahid, yeah.
Although if Uche's comments are any indication, the Khans are not bad owners. They're just too hands off. But it does feel like they're suffering karma from that whole Saxonville thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
But on the other hand, they did get screwed over by the injury gods.
They did. They totally did.
Because when Philadelphia was at an impasse in the offseason, they decided that they were going to swoop in and grab the guy that Philly decided to drop. Big Dick Nick. 3 weeks in, he gets it. 3 weeks in, he gets injured, and he is out. And yes, Cyberwriter, players were reprimanded for wearing the wrong socks.
Yep.
Now, if this was at an actual game, maybe I could understand it. But it wasn't at a game. This was at practice. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things where he thinks that he's coaching a college team and not a professional team. You can kind of get away with that because college athletes are used to getting screamed at. After all, Bobby Knight had a career for so long.
Yeah.
But if you're going to do that, you got to do it right. If you're going to do that, you got to do it right. If you're going to do that, you got to do it right. If you're going to do that, you got to do it right. If you're going to do that, you got to do it right. If you're going to do that, you got to do it right. If you're going to do that, you got to do it right. If you're going to do that, you got to do it right. If you're going to do that, you got to do it right. If you're going to do that, you got to do it right. If you're going to do that, you got to do it right. If you're going to do that, you got to do it right. If you're going to do that, you got to do it right. If you're going to do that, you got to do it right. If you're going to do that, you got to do it right. If you're going to do that, you got to do it right. If you're going to do that, you got to do it right. If you're going to do that, you got to do it right. If you're going to do that, you got to do it right. If you're going to do that, you got to do it right. If you're going But I know Bobby Knight was basketball and not football, but that's what immediately comes to mind when I think of abusive college coaches. Because otherwise, I'd have to think of Bobby Petrino and fuck that guy.
Yeah, the less you talk about him, the better.
But after he got injured, a lot of the momentum that they had just died with him. And I do have to wonder if doubt is going to creep in when it comes to Nick Foles, because you have to remember a couple of years ago he nearly retired.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
go ahead.
It could be a case of what if, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if he retires now? I think it's like he's gonna have a very interesting winter, like a lot of thinking to do.
All right.
Well, welcome back.
Okay, so
we're talking about Nick Foles, Big Dick Nick.
Oh yeah, man. I personally think after that injury, he's been playing way too conservatively. But I think in the case of the Jaguars, it's basically this. You still got cancer in your front office, Con. You should have fired those two as well. And you know what? I'll even say this. If you sold the team and focused on AEW, no one would blame you.
It's not like he doesn't have other sports franchises he owns. Because doesn't he own? I believe he does own. I don't know if it's the sport there, but one of the London FCs.
Yeah, but like I said, the problem here is get smart or focus on something else. Because at least AEW is starting to become a good investment.
I made the joke earlier, actually.
Yeah,
especially given the product this week.
Yeah, especially last night. Hot damn, that was a good show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gotten to the point where now it looks like Vince is start. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do the crazy shit. But it's the wrong kind of crazy shit that we're talking about. But that's something else for another day.
It ain't the 90s anymore. But that's
another story for another day.
That's a hashtag save it for the WrestleCast.
The only thing I will say is this: for a shit that last segment was on Raw a couple of nights ago, it's still ranked in numbers, which is the sad part. But you know what? Enough negativity. Let's laugh. NFC East.
Oh, hold up.
You know exactly what clip I am thinking of, Mr. Alexander.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, yo. How about them Cowboys?
All that shit you were talking. It's the Cowboys cycle. Every offseason, talk metric tons of shit about how this is going to be the year. We're going to get that 6th ring.
We're going to the Super Bowl.
And then reality sets in.
Oh, yeah. And Stephen A. Smith has a hearty laugh at it.
And the thing is, Dallas, you should be competing for playoff spots. You legitimately should. That is the reason part of the reason I laugh so hard at Cowboys fans, because one, they are the second most delusional fan base in their division. The first, of course, being Giants fans. And although if you want to talk about the most delusional fan base in all of football, that honor goes to Notre Dame.
Oh, come on.
Join a conference, you fucks. But when it comes to the Cowboys, The talent that's on the field is good. They've got a good bunch of people. I don't quite consider Dak Prescott to be elite. He definitely has some accuracy problems, but he is very disciplined. But but Garrett, no.
Yeah, that cymbal clacking monkey needs to go.
And they seem to be hit. Look, Jones, buddy, my good old drinking buddy Jerry Jones. Shit.
Yeah.
Or get off the pot.
Yeah, really.
Enough with this half in, half out shit that you've been doing.
Oh, he's my butt. He's my boy.
Whether or not you're gonna fire him.
Yeah.
Garrett's been acting like his job is over. He's been doing these whole big farewells things.
Yeah.
But they're not outright. But it's not been outright stated if his job is done.
Yeah, really. By the way, when it comes to Dak, there's only one thing I gotta say about that. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep.
I'm not dancing, you're dancing. Shut up.
But we have reached a special level of hell when Skip Bayless won't defend the Cowboys.
Oh, boy.
No, you're fucked when some of your hardest of hardcore fans are saying, fuck you, switch it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really. This was disappointing for the boys this year.
No. I'm just talking about the fuck ups of WWE, the Cowboys too.
Hang on.
Yeah. But you know what? I think the biggest losers of this situation are those goddamn Cowboys fans. This is the football gods punishing you. And yet, you still try to drag your baby nuts all over everybody, especially since a certain situation that happened in Soldier Field a few weeks ago. You know that situation, right? Starting a fight with Bears fans because your team lost. And said Bear fans kicked the shit out of you.
Or as the NBA Jam guy would say,
like my wife always says, not tonight.
Yeah, besides, why the fuck are you gonna you won't be able to start shit in people's own backyard, especially in Chicago of all places. Jesus Christ. When are you Cowboy fans gonna learn? Hint, never. Oh my god. But still. But I'm just glad the freaking Eagles got rid of them. That's why I said earlier, they serve their purpose. So yeah. Well, sadly, so seems Mildred's indisposed right now. So how about some music?
Come here, girl. Go ahead, be gone with it. Come to the back. Go ahead, be gone with it. VIP. Go ahead, be gone with it. Drinks on me. Go ahead, be gone with it. Twerking with. Go ahead, be gone with it. Look at those lips. Go ahead, be gone with it. You make me smile. Go ahead, be gone with it. Go ahead, child. Go ahead, be
gone with it. Get up and dance. You gotta fill up time somehow.
Get your sexy out. Get your sexy out. Get your sexy out.
and demonetized.
Oh yeah. I don't give a fuck. We gotta fill up time somehow.
True.
Hey, Faye. But yeah.
Dear Jerry Jones, when Vince McMahon is copying from your homework, you are fucking up.
Yeah. Speaking of which, what happened with AEW? I didn't see it last night. I heard something big happened.
Let's see. Elite won the 6-man tag. Riho retained. Turns out Chris Stanlander was double booked accidentally, so they postponed the match till next week.
Oh, they gotta.
Chris Jericho wants to give Mox a fucking 4GT,
Oh God.
and Mox says, "Listen, out of respect for Chris, I'll give him the answer directly to his face next week."
Yeah, so here's the deal. Yeah, here's the deal with AEW. The only weak link with that one right now is it's their women's division.
It's their women's division. In fairness, you're not wrong. They are still building that up and trying to build it up. Obviously, their focus is their main event and their tag team division. But they're doing what they can with the women's division. Nothing wrong there. And Kenny Omega is doing what he can with bringing in the Joshis from Japan. So
yeah, but here's the problem though: the Joshis, even though talent wise they're solid, but everything else, talent sadly without wrestling is in this part of the world, it's not everything. But my personal opinion is they got to find a way to get some heavy hitters and fast.
Hopefully, Chris Stanlander will be one of them. I know for a fact that Britt Baker is a heavy hitter. They got a few. They just need a few more.
Yeah. So, and my theory is, I bet you 10-1 AEW is salivating over trying to get Tessa Blanchard. But the question is, I don't think Impact wants to let her go.
No, I will say this right now.
I'm back.
Their big main event right now is hey Monk. Their main event is Sami Callihan versus Tessa Blanchard.
Yeah.
T-Dub and I have like a niggling feeling on the side of her head where they might actually pull the trigger and put the belt on Tessa.
Who knows? They might.
It is a gut feeling. But
anyway. Getting back on.
Yeah, let's laugh for the next team.
Yeah, we had to fill up time there. So
no worries. So next we've got the derp.
Hold on, let me get the thing ready.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Derp.
Hold on. Here we go. What?
Derp. 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 Derp.
Hey.
Derp. 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 Derp, 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 derp,
Oh, the shit talk from this team.
Well, gentlemen, are you satisfied with yourself? Oh God. Well, Daniel Jones.
Well,
at
least Eli got his quote unquote send off.
Yeah,
he got a couple more wins. Fair enough, but outside of that, I'm smiling because I'm laughing.
Oh yeah, Saquon Barkley. You got to find your way out of this shit show when your rookie contract comes up. You're going to go to waste here. And hey, both y'all still around?
Monk.
Hello.
Oh God damn it! Sorry, had a bit of that was a botch moment. But when it comes to I have to ask one question, Giants. Was it really worth it using your first round pick on such an unproven commodity? Especially when if you had that much of a hard on for him, there was no reason you could have gotten him in the second round.
The quick answer, Monk, is very simple to the Giants. The answer was no.
Yeah, this is the Trubisky pick all over again.
Now, I'm not going to go as far as some people were saying that he needs to be a Hall of Famer right out the gate. That was never in the cards. But the thing is, when there is no pick in drafting that is more important than the first round pick, because in doing that sort of thing, you are sending a message and sending a pattern for how your scheming is going to go for the next few years.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why you got to make damn sure that first pick is something that counts or is going to legitimately help. With Daniel Jones, did he get better later on? Yes. Was he not? Which is saying something because Duke isn't exactly known for its football program.
Yeah, really.
That being said, there are still other problems. Because if I recall correctly, isn't Eric Flowers still there?
That sounds like a yup to me, Monk.
One of the worst defensemen in the entire league.
Yeah, really.
And you
always playing he's so bad you could have sworn he's always playing the opposing team in his fantasy league.
Oh, probably now. Fortunately, I don't hear Giants fans talking up a storm about how they're gonna get to the Super Bowl, but the fact remains that because of that massive dirt moment regarding OBJ, this was a punishment year for them because. I think didn't they have to swallow about $12 million in dead money?
In dead cap, yup.
Oh yeah.
Which if you knew how much of a cancer OBJ was going to be, why did you extend him and then trade him?
Yeah, really.
That's just really, really bad logistics.
Well, Gettleman, as long as Gettleman's part of that organization, they're screwed.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
And then, hail to the Deadskins.
Hail to the Deadskins.
Ladies and gentlemen, I refuse to call them by that name. I'll just call them the Washington team or the shit show, because that's what that was.
Well, looking at this, the culture is actually damn good. Yeah, now that this guy's gone.
We said that the Steelers are becoming a boys club.
This is a boys club.
This is a motherfucking boys club. Actually, I think I have a bun. Let me try this bun on you real quick.
And how many balls could a ball chucker chuck if a ball chucker could chuck balls?
Yeah, but you know what? It looks like the boys club might have some chinks in it because Bruce Allen, he just went bye-bye.
And what was more interesting is what news broke out while I was in the middle of work today.
Riverboat Ron.
Riverboat Ron is heading to the Deadskins. We will mourn the death of his career.
Now, here's personally,
good luck. You'll need it.
This is a good front office move, in my opinion. Getting a coach like Riverboat Ron, but I'm sorry, buddy, you went to the wrong team because this team ain't going nowhere. It doesn't have the talent.
A bigger problem when it comes to Ron is the fact that once again, it's a case of an old school style coach that's not willing to adapt to I don't want to say trends because that's become a loaded word, but certain technological tricks that are used these days, namely analytics. We roasted Gruden alive for this exact same problem.
Oh, this just in. Sorry to interrupt, but this just in. Garrett's gone. The Symbol Monkey's gone.
What? The Cowboys dump him?
Yep.
No fucking way.
About damn time.
Let's fucking A, if that's true.
It is true. Yeah, my buddy Josh Ross said R.I.P. and he had the gif of the symbol monkey clapping. And it's like, what is this happening when I think it's happening? Yep, it's all over. It's all over at the SNF on NBC, Fox Sports on Twitter. It seems like they're parting ways as of 15 minutes ago.
And why?
Yeah,
why
this
would,
was a rumor, but oh yeah, as about
damn time.
yep.
which just you want to know would be really funny just for lolcow purposes.
Yeah.
Have Michael Irvin be the head coach.
Oh. Oh. Not only we get even more insufferability.
I can't stand Michael Irvin on a good day.
Yeah, he could probably rile up a locker room, that's for sure. But
You're not gonna get Shannon Sharp to do it. Putting aside the fact that Sharp is a national treasure.
yeah, really, you're gonna yeah. If he riles up a crowd like that, you know there's gonna be a lot of Hennessy flowing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of
But getting back to the Deadskins.
Yep.
Yeah.
The big problem, the reason why they are not going to be able to succeed, because anytime they get close, somebody within the organization is going to do some nut cutting because it's not one of their guys. That's the reason why the Redskins are a boys' club.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's going to be the inevitable protest regarding the name. At this point, I am so beyond that I can't bring myself to care because both sides are fucking idiots.
Dan Snyder Dan Snyder is a racist fuck who refuses to change shit because money. That's what it is. It will cost money to replace the name.
On one hand, I can see that that there might be some problems when it comes to logistics. It's the same reason why I remember back in middle school, one of my teachers argued that the U.S. should adopt the metric system like everybody else, and
For God's
I
sake.
had flat out stated that is impossible. And I said, imagine changing all the road signs to go from miles to kilometers in one county in one state. Now imagine doing that for a full state. Now imagine doing that for the entire country.
Yeah, it'd be like trying to switch. It'd be like trying to switch people from driving to the right side of the road to the left side of the road.
And that's
luck
just
with that, buddy.
That's just road signs. Imagine doing that with every other kind of measurement that's in your everyday life.
It'll be chaos.
And
Now, don't get me wrong. They should fucking change the name because it is racist. But again, it's money and logistics. The only way this happens is that Roger Goodell puts his goddamn foot down and says, "God damn it, Snyder, change it or you're out." Or change it or we'll find someone who will change it.
Now,
Well,
I do want to make clear on one thing. I think a lot of the people who protest the name don't give a shit about football. And
of course, yeah.
I think that Dan Snyder's attempts to try and defend the name are equally stupid.
Now, if I was in Snyder's shoes, I wouldn't change the name, but for a different reason. Why bend the knee to a bunch of fucking outrage merchants? That's just my take.
Plus, then again, maybe that abandoned nickname can be right alongside the Cleveland Chokers in baseball.
Yeah, really.
But Snyder's not going anywhere. Unless he does something like unless we have a San Diego Clippers incident, he's not going anywhere.
Oh no. Oh, yeah. Yeah, unless he goes full Donald Sterling, that ain't happening.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But next we've got the Rams, and oh boy, talk about a Super Bowl hangover. What the
Wow.
was it not
Fuck you, Crocky.
Was it not 6
Folks.
months ago that everybody was trying to chase the Sean McVay trend?
Folks,
Oh boy.
this is what happens when you get drunk on too much Jack Daniels.
It backfired spectacularly.
Oh, it
And
does.
it couldn't happen to a nicer man. Fuck you, Cronky.
Now,
I think back to Vince McMahon. He's an Enos.
now, let's examine a few things. First off, I think the reason why the Rams just didn't cut it was because McVay was relying on a lot of schemes. He was basically pulling a football version of the 1-3-1.
Yeah.
And the problem is everybody started getting wise to it. That's the reason why you don't rely on the 1-3-1 because that thing is only going to last you a few weeks in hockey. And I'd imagine that its equivalent would only last a few months, or in this case just one season in this case. Now,
yeah, change it up, please. That's the problem. These young guys, they want to go for the one-trick pony. But the problem here is it may get you through a season, but the next season they'll figure it out and then they'll destroy it. Especially since you have Jared Goff, who is a liability.
yeah, Goff. It seemed like he was made of glass this year.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Goff is a bad bad player, but it's kind of hard to be good when you're always on IR. So Rams, I hate to say it, even though you got close to the win, but it might be time to blow it up.
Yep.
Maybe.
It'd be a shame because Gurley's pretty damn good. They got a lot of pretty good players on there, but you put all your eggs in one basket and it blew, and you failed.
And then we get to the retirement home.
Oh God. Until Bidwell dies, well, I think Bidwell already died, but until that team gets away from the Bidwells, you're screwed.
And there are some players on Arizona's team that I do feel sorry for. You know,
Yeah.
even if some of them are holdovers from the old days. Like Fitzgerald deserves a better team.
Oh, definitely.
Like I really hope he demands a trade in the offseason because he's just wasting away it in a place where everybody is made of glass, and that's ultimately the problem with the Cardinals. Just when you think they're starting to get some momentum, they end up getting injured.
Yeah. Larry Fitzgerald, listen, if you went ring chasing, no one will blame you.
No one would blame you. You've earned yourself a ring. Find a team that you think can help you get there and get there. Because it ain't going to be the Cardinals. And by the way, I'm going to keep my thoughts very simple. I forgot my it's like the team. I forgot about my thoughts about the Cardinals. I have no thoughts.
The only thoughts I have is Dennis Green's tenure.
Yeah, Dennis Green's tenure, your momentary golden era with Bruce Arians. Yeah, that's about it. the problem with the Cardinals is they're basically a team that just gets out of the basement every once in a while. Then all of a sudden they get scared back into it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
But then we come to the NFC North, and we've got to talk about the Bears. Okay, Aaron, floor is yours.
Aaron.
Remember what you guys said about Sean McVay, depending on schemes that are easily predictable.
Yeah.
Nagy does this shit even worse. Not only that, you can't play call for shit. You need to get an OC. Number two, why are you sticking with Trubisky next season? Aren't you? Didn't you say isn't the rumor drill going around that you're trying to get Cam Newton? Which I think, you know what? Why not? I mean, at worst, he is glass. He is a glass man. He's bruised and battered. But you know what? I will go back. I would say take a chance on him. I mean, what other choice you have? It's either that or pretty much waste your defense. And speaking of defense, get another defensive coordinator. Pagano ain't it. But here's the good news. At least Eddie Pinero's legit. You got yourself a kicker. Hello?
Now,
Yeah. We're
can you guys finally be rid of the curse of Cody Parkey?
Well, like
Double
I said,
doink.
I think they got rid of their kicker curse because I think Pinero, for his rookie season, I think he did fine. Yes, he missed a few kicks, but you know what? At least he wasn't doinking him every other fucking game.
But Khalil Mack deserves a better coordinator.
Oh yeah, you had a good coordinator in Fangio, and I can understand he had to leave to become a head coach, which met with success. But why did you go with Pagano? Yeah, he might have done something good. He might have done something with the Ravens back then, but the guy's shit. Okay, he plays conservative. You gotta find a new defensive coordinator. He's not the answer. Your defense suffered for it. Have you noticed that half the defense ended up in the fucking hospital?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Mac is not happy about that. And
Oh.
that's somebody. A guy like Mac is somebody you should be going out of your way to keep happy.
You damn right. And yeah, like I said, if they fail to do so, that would be the most McCaskey moves out of every McCaskey move I've seen.
But
And you've seen your fair share of McCaskey moves.
When I look at the Bears, what the vibe that I get is an alcoholic who's not willing to admit they're an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Because there are two things that they could do to marginally, at the very least, improve their team. The first is get rid of Nagy. He's completely cooked. The second is get a strong QB and admit that you guys screwed up by drafting Kiss and Titties.
Yeah. Now, I kind of disagree with you getting rid of Nagy because I think it's a little too soon. He had one bad season, but one thing's for sure: you can't play call for shit.
Mm-hmm.
Alternately, I would say get an offensive coordinator that can play call. Okay. And basically give him at least some veto power in some of his schemes. If Nagy decides to play the definition of insanity, have that offensive coordinator say, this is, you know what? I'm calling audible on this one. I can't. So, I mean, sure. Will it cause some tension? Maybe. But you know what? At least now the offense will have options. So, but yeah, I expected this kind of record last year. But like I said, I think what's going to happen is it's gonna come down to whether Ryan Pace wants to admit he fucked up. If he doesn't, it's going to be another long season because they're not going to get a first round draft pick.
No. And what's more, now hopefully they don't end up getting some new form of curse, but we'll ultimately see.
Yeah.
But next we have the eternal irrelevance.
Oh boy.
Let me
No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
Okay, let me start off with saying something. I don't think Matt Stafford is a terrible quarterback, but he is so sorely miscast. First off, he's not a starter.
Lions are a bitch.
He's a secondary, and second off, he is somebody who should be doing long range shit. He should be throwing deep bombs at least 15 times a week.
Yeah, he should. I think this is another case of he should go to another team. This is not helping.
And I don't know, just have him focus on good old fashioned air raids. Those are always easy to pick up by a QB.
Yeah, really.
Nah.
That's why air raid patterns are used so much in college. But never mind the fact that you have once again a head coach who was a 1-year coordinator from the Patriots.
Yeah, this is another team that's basically trying to become Buffalo Bill and trying to imitate the Patriots and failing.
Because it's not like this hasn't been tried before at least a dozen times over the last decade. And it never ever works.
It never fucking works. Probably because your owner isn't Robert Kraft, apparently.
No, instead you're owned by the Ford family, who can't even blow up their own building.
Yeah, really.
And let's get the obvious out of the way. To quote Tree, "You have been nothing for years. You are currently nothing. You will continue to be nothing."
Yeah. As long as the Ford family owns that team, they're not going to go anywhere. And you know something, that family is gonna hold on to that team a lot tighter than I would say Virginia McCaskey would. Because here's the deal, the Ford family, they're willing to, let's just say they see this as sort of their birthright. Okay, that's the entire family. You could say that about Virginia McCaskey, but if she dies, all bets are off.
Mm-hmm.
But that Lions, oof.
Tough call, but tough call there, huh?
And with that, I gotta go take a Lions. Be right back.
But that brings us to the NFC South.
Oh boy!
So let's talk about the flying death rats known as the Falcons. Namely the fact that, yeah, they were 7-9, which is slightly below 500, but that does not tell the full story. Falcons, you are trash. Oh my God.
You are shit. You are a league bitch.
And what makes this even more frustrating, Matt Ryan deserves much better.
Okay. Speaking of the Cowboys, yeah, It's officially official. Urinating tree is salty. You couldn't have done this before I finished Sportsball, couldn't you? I clap in honor of the timing. And it's broken by Sports Center. He's done. Anyway, on to the Falcons. Well, I've already forgotten about how shit you are.
Yeah. I can understand why him screaming became a meme this year by Chiseled Adonis, because he was the only one trying. It was like everybody else still hasn't recovered from 28-3. Of course, what doesn't help matters is you still have Steve Sarkisian over there,
Yeah.
who is the one-trickest of one-trick ponies. But I don't see the Falcons going anywhere unless they start blowing shit up and start selling off pieces. And the problem is I think because of how close they got to tasting it during that, and how everybody brings up that one choking thing, they're going to keep on pushing forward, acting like they don't have a problem, when everybody can see that that's not the case.
Falcons were non-existent when you think about it.
Well, they had a few good moments last year, and then it just completely fell to shit. And I think part of the problem was the fact that they got fucked really hard last year by the injury gods, and I don't think they've recovered.
Not completely, anyway.
So, is it possible that they might get back into the playoffs? Maybe, but not for at least 3 years, maybe 4.
Tops.
They are at this current stage a zombie. And I know I make the joke about choking, but I will give them this. They didn't choke this year. That's because it's kind of hard to choke when you don't really show up.
Yeah.
But that leads us back to Florida and to the Buccaneers. Welcome to the 30 for 30 Club. I had serious doubts that Bruce Arians was Yep, I thought I smelled something baking. I had serious doubts that Bruce Arians was going to be able to whip Jameis Winston into any kind of shape. God damn it, stop throwing interceptions.
God. Just keep going.
All right.
Hey, Aaron.
What happened?
Guess for which team we're talking about.
Ding! Oh, damn. 30 for 30, Jameis.
I legitimately want that to be an ESPN special. 30 for 30.
Yes!
30 for 30, famous Jameis Winston. And when he gets it right, he can certainly sling it. Here's the problem. He thinks he's Dante Culpepper.
There it is.
Yeah, this is the problem with Jameis. Even Bruce Arians couldn't fucking help.
And because of that, at the end of the season, Bruce was just throwing up his hands, which means we're gonna have a situation where either
there's another one.
Where either Arians decides to go back into retirement, or Jameis is out.
God damn it, Jameis! Stop throwing picks. Stop throwing them goddamn turnovers.
Mm-hmm. But and ultimately, that's
I see the pastries are selling out big time.
Mm-hmm. But the big problem with Jameis has always been his decision making. That's why he keeps throwing picks.
He's a gunslinger. He's like, the thing is, he's a gunslinger. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna throw at anything.
Which, that can work if you build around that. But the problem is, it is very much a risk. And Hairball also points out that they don't have a running game or an O line.
Yeah, you need an O line. There's another one. You need an O line. You need an O line and some wide receivers who could go long so they could support that kind of gunslinging. Otherwise,
Yeah, really.
I think. Did I hear the oven again?
Yep.
Aha!
He threw another turnover.
Yep, and the fact is that I have to wonder if the curse of the '70s reared its ugly head these last few years.
Yeah, the curse of the creamsicles. Yeah, really.
But
there's another one.
God damn it, that's another one. But he needs to go. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And
yeah.
I wasn't exactly too sure about Bruce Arians coming out of retirement, because didn't he retire because he wanted to spend more time with his family, and now he's. I mean, it goes into the stereotype that when you're in a northern place you retire and go to Florida, but it's a little
about that.
Yeah, really.
It's a little bit on the nose.
Yeah, really.
But last but not least, let's get to the continuously pounded.
Wow.
For the longest time, there's been an even year curse. This time, this was not a case of an even year curse. This was a case of the Panthers were broken.
They became a bitch. They became this.
I just took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 100% that bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what they became. They became one of the league's bitches.
Yep. Cam Newton, him turning into a freaking, becoming a more seasonal resident in freaking IR would do that to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's definitely that. There's the fact that Riverboat Ron's insistence on playing old school is not helping matters.
It's not work. Come on. It hasn't worked for Gruden. Why do you think it's gonna work for you, Riverboat Ron?
And the other major factor is that with remember, they had secured new ownership last year.
Yeah.
And it seemed like this ownership was going to have a case of no excuses, we're here to win. That's why I get the feeling that this offseason, management is going to drop a nuke.
They're blowing up the team.
Yeah.
They're going to blow. I think they're going to blow up. You're probably going to see them, I wouldn't say aggressively tank, but there is going to be some tanking happen to try and get a high pick. Not necessarily the first round pick. Not necessarily the first overall pick, but definitely a high pick.
Yeah, definitely. They're definitely the only person that's probably going to be left over is McCaffrey. That's about it.
Yeah, I could easily see them nuking it. I would be shocked if Cam Newton is still there, but hey, maybe if he goes to another team, he won't have Cam Jordan haunting his nightmares.
Oh, please, Bears, pick this guy up.
Pick this guy up, and I will admit I've enjoyed that bit of it simply because Cam Jordan is one of the biggest trolls in the league.
Cam Jordan? I thought you were talking about Cam Newton.
I just bring up Cam Jordan because of the fact that the two of them have been poking at each other for years.
Yeah.
But as far as Super Cam, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to the Bears. He's probably not going to go to the Vikings. Just don't go to the Colts or the Broncos. They're probably going to try and throw money at him to do that.
Oh God, no. And besides, I think Cam Newton has personally said he wants the Bears. So it's just a matter of if Ryan Pace is gonna swallow his fucking pride and get him. Because there's rumors going about that Pace is the dog with the house on fire. It's gonna come down to that GM, and if he doesn't do that in the offseason, you know damn well he's gonna lose his job at the end of next season.
Yeah, we might have some more instances of Black Monday.
Oh yeah.
But that is our truncated look at the season. I'm not gonna do this when we get to the Super Bowl. I'm just going to keep an eye and probably cringe at whatever commercials I end up happening across.
Watch, it's an election season too, so expect more woke bullshit.
Yeah, especially if the Patriots go far, because we know that somebody's gonna have a hate boner simply due to the fact that Brady voted for Orange Man.
Yeah, only thing redeemable about him.
Well, I'm sure Brady is a nice guy and all.
Yeah, it's just his team's too shady.
Yeah, there's definitely that. Though I get the feeling that when we get to the off season, you're going to see a lot of shuffling pieces.
Oh yeah.
And we might see some. I'm not going to say all the narratives are going to die, but we might see some of them change. It's just a matter of whether or not certain teams can actually get shit done.
Yeah. As for the Cowboys, I'm glad you got rid of the symbol monkey. That's the start.
Yeah.
Now the question is, which team's going to be foolish enough to pick him up? Please, God, not the Browns. But then again, this is Jimmy Haslam we're talking about. I think he'll probably, if he fucking picks up Garrett, then it's pretty obvious he's trying to become Jerry Jones.
Well, I'm sure he would love to. As far as my own turf, I can't help but get the feeling that Mike Zimmer might be on his way out in a few years.
Yep.
It's just nothing's set in stone, but there's been rumors that he's been doing some shopping. I don't know if that's actually the case, but if it is, I would just nod and say yes.
Only one way to find out, really.
Well, we'll find out in a few months. But in the meantime, I want to thank you all for coming along with this little experiment. I don't think we'll be doing another Men Who Stare at Sportsball until the NHL playoffs.
Yeah.
Or somewhere very close to it. Like once we get most of the brackets, most of the teams that we know are making it in, we'll probably jump on that. So probably around April.
Mm-hmm. But now, of course, a few things coming down the pipe. There will be a new review on Saturday. Sunday, of course, is Monastery Live. And next week we will be shifting to a recorded version instead of a live version of Zeitgeist.
Oh shit! I just realized something.
Yeah.
I'm in
What?
Florida next week.
Oh shit!
Woof.
Since that's gonna be what
So
dates?
not the 7th, but hold on. Let me get the calendar real quick. Not the 7th, but the 14th.
Okay.
So not that long. I'm just gone next week for AGDQ, and that's about it.
Remind me, what days are AGDQ?
Awesome Games Done Quick 2020 is January the 5th until early mornings on January 12th.
So you're going to be gone for a whole week?
Pretty much, yeah.
Then, that being the case, I'm going to delay Zeitgeist until the 14th.
Until the 14th, because I'm back by the 12th. Yeah.
Well, it is what it is. At least this gives me more time to do some prep and maybe set up a mock dossier like folder, because you guys are being detectives.
Ah, yes, true.
Now, I'm going to have to apologize to Misanthropic, because one of the things I ended up getting over the holidays that was less planned was a new capture card. Elgato HD 60S.
Nice.
So I may use that to stream some console stuff in the future. Especially since through something like that, if I feel so inclined, I might actually be able to do Smash tournaments, or hell, have you all watched me suffer through Mario Maker levels?
Damn it! Stop turning over the ball, Jamin.
I knew it was gonna fuck up near the end.
It always happens. But until next we meet, on behalf of the good brothers present and not present, my name is Mildra. I am your gaming monk. Stay fucking frosty, everybody.